aba edeba Grants TV so meeting ede MAAME YAA ADOBEA ASARE. Ene eda stronko kwa sanse Grants TV de dwumedie foforo ebrem we de amunu chiakra eno ne my health my wealth. Na yehwe bibi so wo sika ana wo ahonya de bebre na wapo mu enhye danya de nya koba ne se wo de sika no behwe se ubenya apomuden no wetumi egina wo nanso ayenya wo pese wo ye nanso se wo nhye dan ne sika nanso wo apomuden a wo ye very okay esan se wo apomu ye den ti no tumi ye adwuma enya sika eye nya wo pese wo nyina nanso se wo nhye dan ne sika na wo apomu so enhye dan ye den sai ko fan sem bebre ba san se kakra na obenya no na etwa se o de kohwe yare ani ade enu nti na Grants TV e de adwumadie we ebramo na wadwumadie so no yetum safra wona wolimde ewo apomuden sensem ho no mabene omoya abetwetwe nkomo abekyerekyere ye ne esese ye ne esese ye nyina na etumi ama apomuden esipi esita yesere sanse me be hye nkomo twetwe nase no se wunya like you page na ube like na wa share link ni so na we leave a comment afen so se wunya subscribe to your YouTube channel na yesere so be subscribe won mreko a ye ko akoje enkrato aba me ba sisi a Yo ahwefo yedam ase bebre se munya otwen honhom ene yen etenaye me samo makọ ababiom eba Grants TV so me se mrekra no ye be hye nkomo hwehwe nase na ene ye ne adamfo ene ye nua bema a ye student nurse e wo Pentecost University e be twetwe nkomo afa apomuden ho ye ka apomuden ya health what is health again ne apomuden enti me se mrekra ye be call ye nua Ebenezer so eben ma kwaba
ye ne MAAME YAA
na yeda wasunso se yetum safra ono mo bae
me the master se me to me safra me se me ne motifo ne papa no mo fi me mra ne media brabo mo ne ye apomuden ho ko.
Okay. ATS Americano. Again ne apomuden. What is health? You can speak English, you can speak Chi, so what is health?
Okay. So in the olden days, or according to history, there was a Greek god.
Okay.
Let me say gods, named Asclepius. This Asclepius had 5 daughters, and then he was the god of medicine. So because he was a god, it got to a point in time that they wanted someone who will be in service to him or will serve him. So they didn't go anywhere, or they didn't look further. So one of her daughters, called Hygia, was supposed to be the servant of the dad. So because of that, because the dad was a ghost, she had to keep herself clean, sanitize herself, and then do all sorts of things, because the dad also was a ghost. Okay, so because of that, Hygia became the personification of health. So when you see Hygia, you see health. When you see Hygia, you see cleanliness. When you see Hygia, you see hygiene. So it is from the name Hygia that we had hygiene. Okay, so in the layman's understanding, health is the absence of disease. Right now, when I talk of health, everybody might think that it is the absence of disease, but it goes beyond that. Health goes beyond the absence of disease, or what we can observe with our physical or naked eyes. So in 1948, World Health Organization came out with a definition of health as a state of complete physical, mental, emotional, and then social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, so that is what I can say about health, or a summary of health for now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Are there types of health? And if yes, can you take us through some of the types of health?
Actually, yes, there are different types of health. Okay, so the first health type that we want us to talk about, or I'll share with my listeners, is physical health. When you talk of physical health has to do with the absence of diseases or deformities
Okay.
on body parts or on our body parts. So as soon as I entered, you could see that there are no lesions or sores on my skin. So that can tell you that I am physically healthy. Or physical health also has to do with one's ability to do or perform normal duties or normal daily routines without any restriction. Yes, so that is physical health. So in the first place, the absence of disease or infirmity on the body parts. And then in the second place, your ability to perform normal duties without any restriction. So that constitutes physical health. And then the next type of health that I would want us to talk about is psychological health or mental health. Now, mental health is categorized into two. You have the first aspect to be the cognitive aspect, and then the second part to be the emotional aspect. Now, the cognitive aspect has to do with your ability to learn, to understand what you've learned, and then the ability to produce or to put into practice what you've learned. So when you go for lectures, as you're a student, when you go for lectures, and then whatever the lecturer comes in there to teach, you're unable to grasp it or to absorb it. You're unable to, you don't understand what has been taught. And then you are not able to put into practice, then it means cognitively you are not sound or you are unhealthy. You get it?
Yes.
Okay, and then the second aspect of it has to do with the emotional part. Sometimes we act in a way that at the end of the day or after acting that way, we ourselves regret for doing such a thing. So when you talk of emotional health, it has to do with one's ability to express his or her emotions in a way, in a particular way or in the appropriate way. Your ability to express your emotions in the particular way. Your emotions such as fear, anger, happiness, all these are emotions, both positive and the negative ones. So your ability or your ableness to express these emotions in the appropriate way constitute emotional. You know, I assume you are angry, and then I come to disturb you. You might say something that at the end of the day, you yourself, you ask yourself, it's MAAME YAA ADOBEA, because of that, you couldn't control your action. In that case, you can say that you are not emotionally sound or you are emotionally unhealthy. And then the third type of health that we would look at is social health. Social health has to do with the ability to socialize. Social health, the ability to socialize, to form groups, to join groups, and then also to feel accepted and also to accept others. As you go to campus, you go for lectures, and then you go and meet your friends who are gathered studying, and then you don't feel like joining them. There's nothing wrong with your relationship with them, but within you, you don't feel like joining the group of people. You are not able to socialize with them. Then it means there is something wrong with you.
Interesting.
Okay. You get it? So that has to do with the social health. So in summary, social health has to do with your ability to relate with others. You get it? Your ability to relate with others and then the environment as a whole, or the environment as well. So these are the types of, there are other types of health, but these are the ones that for now I don't want us to throw much light on.
Interesting. Meaning from what you've just said, health is very important.
Of course, health
But
is very important.
how, we want you to tell us how important it is to us as humans. How important is health to us as humans?
Health is very, very important to us humans. In the first place, when you're healthy, it will prevent diseases. So you can say that health prevents diseases. You get it? And then let's assume you always take in fruits. And then we know that fruits build the immune system. So when you take in fruits, it builds your immune system. So when it happens that way, microorganisms or organisms which are to cause infection to you find it difficult to attack the immune system because the immune system is very strong.
Okay.
You get it? So when it happens that way, different microorganisms will find it difficult to intrude. Even when they enter the body, because of the strong immune system, the immune system is able to fight it. But in the case where you are unhealthy, what do you think will happen? Any microorganism that will pass by will say hello to you, and then the time you realize,
Down, broken.
you get it. So when you are healthy, it prevents disease. I would want us to see how HIV is contracted. HIV is. Okay, so HIV is the virus, the human immune virus, and then the AIDS is the disease, right? So there are these cells in the body called CD4 cells. Now these CD4 cells are a particular type of white blood cells. You get it? So they are the ones that signals the other lymphocytes or the other white blood cells in the body that there is an intruder. So when this HIV virus enters the body, first of all, it goes to attack the CD4 cell. That's when the immune system is very weak. So when the immune system is very weak, the human immune virus, which is the HIV, it enters and then it first of all attacks the CD4 cells, which is to send signals to the other white blood cells. So when it attacks it, there is no one to send signals. And then the HIV virus is able to overcome the other white blood cells, and then the time you realize, when it becomes prolonged, you get the AIDS. So we can say that health is very important. It is very important because it will prevent all sorts of diseases, including HIV/AIDS. And then moreover, health will prolong life, or it prolongs life, or it increases our lifespan. When you are healthy, you grow very well. You grow old. You get it? And then health is also important because it improves our mental health. When you're healthy, you are not how do I even put it? When you are healthy, you are not depressed. You don't think of anything because you are healthy. But assume you wake up every morning and then you feel within yourself that there is something wrong. Every day you are thinking, emotionally or mentally, you are not sound.
Okay.
So when you're healthy too, it improves your mental health. Okay. And then when your mental health is improved, you are able to go to work very well, and then there is productivity. It increases productivity. You get it? Okay. When you're mentally sound, you're able to go to your workplace or whatever thing that you do what you want to do. And then at the end of the day, there is productivity. When there is productivity, by all means, your financial status will also increase.
Okay. Makes sense.
You get it?
Yes.
When there is productivity, when there is an increase in productivity, by all means, your financial status will also increase. So these are some of the reasons why your health is very important.
Good. So from what you've said, even nobody, I don't believe there's anyone on this earth who wants to be sick or who wants to be unhealthy.
Of course.
So with that, how do we stay healthy? Like, nobody, like I said, will want to be ill, always being carried around. Everyone wants to be fit, standing tall.
Of course.
So how do we stay healthy? What do we do to be healthy?
Okay. There are so many ways that one can stay healthy, depending on yourself.
Tell us.
In the first place, regular exercises, normal exercises can make you healthy.
Okay. What does it do?
Okay, so when you exercise regularly, it increases the rate at which the heart pumps the blood to your part of the body. Do you get it? And then that alone, even walking alone, you get up early in the morning, you walk around, it's a form of exercise. You, for instance, sometimes when I wake up and then I'm going to bath, I do some press-ups before. Not that I want to gain muscles or I want to build my muscles, but just to. When I do that, I sweat a lot.
The blood.
Of course, my heart you feel that your heart is pumping. It's pumping fast. That it's cool. You can go for jogging. You can do some petty exercises, and then that will improve your health. To improve upon your health. And then you can also eat foods which are very balanced, or a well balanced diet. Somebody may ask, what is a well balanced diet? Or what is a balanced diet? A balanced diet is a diet, or it's a type of a meal or a food which contains almost all the essential nutrients in their right proportions. There used to be, there are 7 nutrients now. Now they've added water and then fiber and then other ones. So maybe you can't afford a particular food which contains all the nutrients, but at least 5 of them is enough.
Okay.
And then the nutrients, somebody may ask, what are the nutrients that we need in the food? Why do we even eat the balanced diet? The balanced diet contains protein, it will contain vitamin, it will contain fat and oil, it will contain fiber, carbohydrates, so on and so forth, water, and then minerals. So these are the essential nutrients that will help the body to be healthy. You get it? So when you take in all these foods, which contains the nutrients, then it means you're improving upon your health. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. So these are some of the reasons. These are some of the ways by which one can improve upon his or her health.
Okay.
And then, let me add this last one. Let me add this very last one. You must reduce the intake of salt, fat and oil, or fats, and then sugar.
We shouldn't take them at all.
Not that we shouldn't take them at all. We should reduce. We shouldn't take them in excess.
Okay.
We shouldn't take them in excess. Yeah, we shouldn't take them in excess. So we should measure it. Sometimes after our parents, sometimes our mom will prepare food for our dad, and then dad will be like, Kwame, and then the rest of the fetch it. It's not good.
Healthy.
It's not healthy. If you want the salt, you put it in the boiling soup. That one is kind of better than using the raw salt.
So, with that said, what is the characteristics of someone who is healthy, someone who is unhealthy, and someone who is healthy? What can you see about them to tell or differentiate between someone who's healthy and someone who's not?
Okay. So, in the first place, I can tell whether you're healthy or not depending on your hair.
Really? Tell us
Of
about
course.
it.
So Dr. Daniel H. Kingsley said that the hair is the barometer of health.
Interesting.
The hair is the barometer of health. So if there is anything wrong within the body, you see that there is a change in the hair. Either the color changes, or sometimes
It breaks.
it's brittle.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
Yeah. So I can tell whether you're sick or you are healthy or not depending on your hair. So in a healthy person, the hair is very thick. In a healthy person, the hair is very thick, and then it's dark as well, and then the scalp is also moist. But in an unhealthy person, the scalp is very dry. Sometimes you see some white patches under the scalp or on the scalp, and then the hair is also brittle. Sometimes the color of the hair changes. I'm sure you've seen kwashiorkor patients before. You can tell how their hair looks like.
So before you continue, from what you are saying, the physical characteristics, I mean, you can tell someone is unhealthy just by looking at the person's skin
Of
or the
course.
person's hair, color of the eye.
Color of
So
the
the
eye.
very things you see outside can tell you that there's a deviation from the normal state of health from within.
course.
Please continue.
Right. And then emotionally too, how can you tell? Because you said that health is a state of complete physical, emotional, social well-being of an individual, and then not just mere the absence of disease or infirmity. So how can you tell whether someone is emotionally well? than or unhealthy. Sometimes when someone is emotionally unhealthy, the person is not able to come closer to people.
Interact with people.
They don't
always
interact
want to isolate themselves.
Of course.
Okay.
Always they've isolated them. They want to isolate themselves from the mass.
But does that have to do with health, or it's some people's temperament?
Some are temperament.
Okay.
Some are temperament. But as you see, we have friends. Me, for instance, I have friends. I know how they are, how they relate with me every day. So if as we go for lectures one day, and then I see that this guy has isolated himself from all the friends, how he's acting is weird. It's not as how he used to behave towards us. I can clearly tell that there is something wrong.
Okay. Which can go a long way of being the problem with the mental health.
Of course.
Okay.
You get it? So that has to do with the emotional. And then with the cognitive aspect, we said that cognitive health has to do with your ability to learn, to understand, and then put into practice what you've learned. So if you are not able to learn, or when the lecturer comes to class, he sees everything, you are present, you are seated over there, but you are not able to get you don't get anything. You don't, though you listen, but you don't understand anything. At the end of the day, what you've listened, you can't put into practice, then it can clearly also tell that cognitively there is something wrong. Do you get it? So these are some of the ways by which one can tell, or I myself can tell, as whether you are healthy or not.
Okay. So, I want to ask this. What are some of the things we do, or some of the activities we engage ourselves in that make us unhealthy, or that causes bad health?
Okay. Our behavioral lifestyle. Some of us are addicted to, how do I call it? Alcohol. Yeah, alcohol addiction. The behavioral lifestyle has to do with what we do. Our behaviors, our normal behavior, our normal routine behavior. So some of us or some people out there are addicted to alcohol. There is no single day that they won't take alcohol. They are addicted to marijuana, so on and so forth. So all these, as you're taking in all these, they are putting your health at stake.
Is it always about the things we take, or some things lead to bad health because of what we don't do?
Of course, not only what we take. Sometimes too, if you don't observe personal hygiene, that is within and then without, in your surroundings, you can do, or your health can be at stake.
Okay, you don't eat well, you don't eat on time, you don't eat the right foods at the right time.
Of course. And then even your surroundings, you finish eating in our hostels. It's most people do that. After eating, you put
the plate
under your bed. By the time you realize there's bread, microorganisms, you get it. You go and pick the plate and then you eat from the same plate. All these will put our health it will put our health at stake.
So in conclusion, the reason people have bad health, or the reason people fall sick, is because because of certain things they do, and certain things they refuse to do.
Of course.
Which you have made mention of some of it. Okay.
So this is an aspect of it. And then sometimes too, we are unhealthy because of the things we come into contact in our environment. Sometimes you come into contact with harmful gases, some chemicals. You realize that the air is very polluted. You get it? There is a burning ongoing somewhere. You get it? And then the smoke is all over the place. When you breathe this very smoke, which is carbon monoxide, it will cause respiratory disease and other things. And then some are also congenital. Some are from birth. People are born with it. For example, sickle cell anemia. You get it? There are so many diseases that people are born with it. You get it? Yeah. So we have the part that we need to play to become healthy. Then some are also from birth, unless medical officers our surgeons come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are wrapping up, but then I want you to say something about health and wealth. Relate health to wealth. I mean, on My Health, My Wealth, the slogan is the greatest wealth is health. I want you to say something small about it. How do you understand that mantra?
Okay, so to me in person, I will say that when you're healthy, you have everything.
Okay.
When you're healthy, you have everything.
Go deeper.
When you get the chance to go to the hospitals, when you get the chance to go to the wards, that's when you bless the name of your living God. Yeah, let me put it that way. People want health. The people who have much money, they just want health for their basic things, but they're not able to eat. So how I relate health to wealth is that when you have health, you can work and then gain whatever thing that you want, gain the wealth that you want. Or yeah.
So being healthy means you can be productive.
You can be productive.
Because you have the strength.
You have the strength.
You are always going.
That is it.
Okay.
So when you are healthy, you are wealthy.
Wow. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much. God bless you. So on My Health, My Wealth, we speak both English and Twi. And for you, but I must see the brain say, Munya brain any yet tonight. Jumedie, My Health, My Wealth. Yet the bedroom will be not the beer, non so pepe, nay I share and come to train. I say, Majid say was senior baby a free and then come to train her. Now, what you send name, your best thing here, me ding the at the MAAME YAA ADOBEA ASARE, Macrama.